Hello there, I am Martin Naylor and this is the Fixing Football Podcast, the finest of all football podcasts that you'll find out there. Despite what anyone else recommends, they're lying. This is the best one. Tonight I'm joined by Liam O'Meara and Scott Naylor. Welcome fellows, how are you doing?
Very well, Martin. Very, very well. How are you?
I'm good, mate. Liam?
I am also well, thank you.
Unlike our friend Luke, who sadly can't join us tonight, he is, I'm hoping he's recovering after, I don't know if you know this, I don't know if he would mind me sharing, but he's had surgery this week. He's getting his knees done, because he's dead conscious about him getting smaller, like he's getting shorter. So he's gone and had his knees and his shins done, so he's going to be a few inches tall when you see him next.
Yeah, well, it has been a worry. I have mentioned to him quite a few times. He sort of is shrinking at quite an alarming rate, I think. So I'm glad to see he's sort of addressed that.
Yeah, it's just the fact that he believes he's still 6'5" is like, it's sad to see. But, you know, all the best with his recovery, and I'm sure he'll be back to fighting fit soon. And he's got some races.
It wasn't always an ambitious height.
Yeah, I mean,
I've been quite ambitious for Luke.
It was a lie from the get-go, but at least he was pushing towards it, not falling away from it at the speed that he is. So I know. Anyway, our thoughts were with Luke. He'll be fine. I'm sure he's in good hands. Yeah. It's been a mad week. I've had a good weekend. We've had the Champions League final. I've been working like a dog. I had a good show in Bolton on Saturday night, so that was fun. And thank you to you boys for coming down and everyone else who did. It was a great time, so next ones will be announced there soon. That was fun. Scott, Champions League final. Shall we get into that for a little bit?
Yeah, let's talk about it. The aura of Ancelotti won out in the end. It was overall, I didn't think it was a great showing from either side. I think there were obvious times where Dortmund's quality gap was lacking. And they had the better of the chances. The first half, especially, Dortmund created way, way more than Madrid did. And it was just one of those classic scenarios that you see a team, they get all the chances in the world and they just don't finish them off. And I think Real Madrid in particular, in that competition, in that scenario, you only may get one or two chances to really, really kill the game off. And they got a couple of really good ones, Dortmund, and they just couldn't get it over the line. Ian Maatsen, who got named in the team of the tournament, has been excellent since he joined on loan from us. He had a shocker for both goals. He was at fault for them both, which I was a bit weird because I was like, he played really well, but also really cost them the game. So it's like, can he still have had a good game if he was at fault for both goals? I don't really think that's possible. But if those didn't happen, he would have played really well.
It didn't do his chances of a permanent signing any favours, unfortunately. But like I said, he has been handy for him, as has Sancho as well. I think they're both sort of in a similar sort of wing back role almost.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, go on, Liam. What did you?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Maatsen particularly has been a really good loan for them. I think he's really affected how they play, particularly when he sort of inverts into the midfield. I think that's had a real big impact on sort of Dortmund doing better, particularly in the second half of the season. So, yeah, it was a bad day for him, but I do think that if it can be worked out, there would be a permanent move to Dortmund for him if he wants it. I think it is there for him.
Do you think there's only, I'm sticking with Dortmund for a sec, but do you think there's only one spot for him and Sancho up for grabs in terms of what Dortmund can do, probably financially?
Depends how they're structured. Yeah, it depends how they're structured, the deals. Could they get a Sancho on another loan, potentially, with a loan fee? I think there is potential there, but they're not necessarily blessed with finances. And Royce is dropping off the wage bill.
The wages for Sancho as well would be crazy. If they obviously probably need United to keep paying them a bit longer, but United are famously trying to get them off the books as well, aren't they? So, yeah, I'm not sure. And Maatsen could end up sticking with. Now we've got our new gaffer. He likes an old inverted fullback, so he might like the look of him. You know, a new manager comes in and people's fortunes change, don't they? So maybe there's, I don't know. I'd be shocked to see him stay because I think there's profit in him for us that we need. But yeah, I guess we'll see.
We've touched on a few points there. I think it leads nicely onto our rumours of the week section that I hinted at last week. But like there's a few bits going on. Obviously, you've got a new manager. Whether Dortmund can do anything there. When you talked about United want to pay Sancho's wages, the rumour is that they can offload Casemiro for close to 100 million to Saudi, which seems absolutely bananas to me.
I would be staggered if that was the fee. 90 million, or was it 90 million euros? Was it quoted?
Yeah.
I just can't believe that even the Saudis don't think of that mental.
The fact that I saw a tweet, but the fact that Newcastle had to get a £24 million deal for St. Maximan verified by the Premier League.
Yeah. Well, I think when we sold Koulibaly, you had Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher, we got to look into this Saudi-Chelsea connection. Sold him for peanuts. I think Mendy went and somebody else. Oh, Kante. And Kante went for nothing. He was out of contract anyway. Yeah, no, 90 million for Casemiro, who's had a stinker of a year. And sign it off.
I'd be shocked if there's anything in that. I think there's something in the move, but I'd be shocked if there's anything in that level. I reckon 15 to 20 million.
I'd
be shocked if there's anything more than that. He's got 1 year left as well.
I was saying that'd be mostly covering his wages anyway for the season. So
he's only got a year. I thought he signed like a 5-year deal.
He's got 2 years left at least with an option of an extra. So it's 4+1 deal that they signed him on.
Who agreed that deal at Man United? Who signed off on that?
His agent, who's dancing on his own planet now. Rumours. Arsenal been linked with a striker and linked with selling a lot of people. I know your mate who we spoke about on the predictions episode, but Benjamin Sesko, Slovenia looks heavily linked. But also Osimhen and Rafael Leao have been linked this week with us. So I like Sesko, but I don't want to put a load of pressure on a 20-year-old guy who could easily go the way of Højlund rather than Haaland.
I've been thinking on this, and I think because I think the original sort of rumor was Osimhen's looking like it was a Chelsea deal and Sesko to you lot, but I can almost see it going the other way. I don't think we want to spend that kind of money on a striker because of how wildly we've spaffed money away in the last couple of windows. As much as I think Sesko probably suits you better, I could see those deals, because we're heavily linked with Sesko as well. I could almost see those deals going the opposite way around. And you boys using making your one big move, making it for someone like Osimhen. I wouldn't be surprised at that. Not sure what you think, Liam.
I would be shocked if Osimhen goes anywhere with Conte just signing for Napoli. I don't think he'd have gone there without any assurances that Osimhen is staying.
Maybe.
I think PSG have got a fight on their hands to get Kvaratskhelia, who they want as the Mbappe replacement as well. I can't see either of them going with him going in there. I just don't think he would have gone there if. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's obviously a number that will win him over, but I'd be shocked if Conte didn't get assurances about Osimhen before he went in there.
I think 100 million is the number for both. The quote that's being chucked around Osimhen and that Georgian's name who I can't say.
Yeah, Kvara. I just call him Kvara because it's easier. Well, I think if you get those offers, I don't see how you can. If you're Napoli, I get what you're saying on Conte. Probably would, but Conte is also known for he wouldn't mind bringing in a veteran a bit cheaper to offset that. Because Conte's only going to be there 2 years anyway, so he don't really care. He's there any longer than that, I don't think. But yeah, I think it'd be crazy to not at least consider him for both, especially Kvara. I think he said he fancies PSG by all accounts. I think Osimhen's quite happy to stick around.
It's a weird one, but yeah, Sesko he fits the mold of what we're looking for, but he's 20.
He'd be really good.
He's 20. He reminds me more of like a Giroud type, but with pace. But they're going to get that at 20. So we'll see with that one. I think it shows that we're clearly in the market for a striker, which everyone's been saying anyway. Liam, Bolton, eerily quiet at the moment. Twitter aren't happy about it. It seems to be the only club around them not doing anything at the moment. Is there anything on the horizon? Did you see anything other than a potential contract for Ian Evatt? Is the only thing I've seen. Yeah,
I think there's a lot of talking going on at Bolton at the moment. A lot of soul searching, and I think I've not heard anything differently. I've seen the rumour like you have about a new Evatt contract. I must admit, I'd be surprised at that. But they may do it. I don't know, to be completely honest. I'd be surprised because I thought he might go. But we'll see. There's not much to report on Bolton. In terms of rumours of the week, I must have forgot about this segment. However, there was one that stuck out to me when I was looking at rumours anyway today, and that was Bruno Fernandes potentially to Bayern Munich, which I really couldn't add up in my head. I couldn't see that move, but apparently there's quite a lot in that link.
Yeah,
See it.
I
I
think
can actually see that.
I've seen a load of names linked with Bayern actually since they've announced company. Like Zinchenko's been one, who they've been rumoured with. Adam Wharton as well, which
It's
is
going to be a new way of playing. And that squad probably needs a little bit of a injection of some new blood anyway. A lot of the same people have been there for a while. So I could see Fernandes, because I can see Thomas Muller being pushed out the door if he doesn't fit what company wants to do. Not saying Fernandes fits it much better, but if you're looking for some sort of goal-getting midfielder to replace him, I don't think that's a crazy shout, to be fair.
Scott, Chelsea got a new manager.
We do indeed.
The
Enzo
latest off
Maresca,
the latest off the Pep production line of someone who was brushed shoulders with Pep somewhere down the line, so he must be a good manager.
Yeah. Yay.
What you and so we keep going back and forth about should Poch have stayed and should he have gone. Then he went, and we said he should stay. So
yeah.
What do you think? What are your thoughts on Maresca and apparently the fact that they're going to back him for a few more players to bring in as well?
Yeah, allegedly. I mean, it's the weird thing that I've seen is the reaction from Leicester fans, and I've not seen loads of people gutted to be rid of him. I think more Leicester fans are annoyed because we keep nicking loads of people off him, like we still, well, I say Kante and Chilwell, and we've had a history of dipping in for some of their better players. Even Danny Drinkwater, who did. To be fair, for Danny Drinkwater, they always a manager for free anyway. That was a fucking shit show, but anyway. No, it's the reaction's been quite telling that while they liked him, again, his lack of a plan B pissed a lot of the fans off. Even in 89 minutes at 0-0, he won't change from his slow build-up. And I think this is what got Maurizio Sarri in a lot of hot water with the Stamford Bridge crowd, is that he bored us to tears with possession-based football. And it was great. Like, you look back at some 5-second clips that some Tactico on Twitter clips out, we look like, 70s Brazil, but it's boring to watch for 90 minutes. So we'll see. He's a very much an unknown entity as far as I'm concerned. So I hope he does really well. But yeah, you tell me. I don't know. What do you guys make of it from like a non-Chelsea perspective? What's your thoughts on it being like? It seems like a weird appointment even from the outside in. I don't know what you two think of it.
He did very well at Leicester. They had a very good team, but they had a real identity about how they played, and they really stood up to the expectation. And yes, they had a little bit of a dip a little bit later on in the season, but really they did get promoted at a canter, and he really built around some key players. He really made Dewsbury Hall a main man that everything went through. He brought in Harry Winks into the squad at 15 million. And obviously they were selling quite a lot of players, so they could afford to do it. But everything went through Harry Winks. And when you buy Harry Winks to play in that very deep role, you are very much setting your stall out of a certain way of playing. So I do think the idea of an identity and a structure he will bring. The only thing with Chelsea is, will the fans give him, if you have a bad start, will the fans give him time? And I don't think they will, because he's not a big name. I agree. And I think that's the challenge. But in terms of like project style manager, he's got a bit about him, I think, to be honest. But time will tell, I suppose. What do you think, Martin?
Yeah, same. But time was the key word then that you said. I mean, Chelsea famously are quite short on time with managers. So, yeah, I really don't know. I can't claim that I've seen enough of Leicester to have a good opinion of him. But I have liked what I've seen of Dewsbury Hall this season. And I wonder, with you mentioning Harry Winks, making the step up, whether that's the role that he sees Enzo Fernandez doing more so rather than a a Caicedo, I think that role probably suits Enzo Fernandez, and maybe that's how you get the best out of him. But like, I think only time will tell, and I'm sort of hoping. I don't love Chelsea, but I hope to see all managers get given a first stick. I hate the sack. I've always hated the sacking culture of Chelsea, and I've hated it when everyone are too quick fire to jump down the throats of a manager. You need to give them time. You need to go through some rocky patches. Unless you're chucking £1 billion at a manager every time and giving him free rein and letting him have some say on the squad, you can't just bring a guy in and say, we think these players are good, make them work, or we'll get someone else. There's got to be a cohesive relationship between all levels from the pitch right up to the top. So yeah, time is the key one here,
don't you? And
exactly.
I think the thing is, funnily enough, I think if let's say if Maresca was the first guy under the Clear Lake era, if you want to call it that, he probably would have a lot of the good grace of the fans, because they did it with Pot. Like, most Chelsea fans were like happy to give Potter more time, even though the football was abysmal. They managed to sort of finesse us all into this whole project thing. We were like, okay, fine. Like, that was why it was a mistake firing Potter in some ways, because it means that they backed down on their principle to have this whole, like you said, this cohesive top to bottom structure with a manager that they trusted. And it's kind of like, you've shown us that you aren't even going to trust your own decisions, really. So I feel like they've burned through a lot of that goodwill that they could have had. If we do get off to a shit start, we've sort of had Potter, we've had Poch. It's like, you've kind of pissed us off now. Now we just want to start winning some stuff. So it's a lot of pressure for the guy. So I don't envy him. It's a tough job he's got on his hands. But if he's as good as everyone who he's worked with claims he is, or maybe Harry Winks because he's the only guy who's ever started him as a real player. Maybe that's why he likes him so much. But yeah, we will see. Hopefully he's good, but I don't know.
Last bit on Chelsea then, Scott. We spoke about rumours, but what does he address first? What position? And I had a shout for a Chelsea signing, and I haven't seen it rumoured, but I'd like to know your thoughts first before I tell you mine.
Okay. Well, interestingly, the goalkeeper was a big one, because I think most Chelsea fans thought that Robert Sanchez wasn't going to be the long-term answer. He was just someone that isn't Kepa, basically. And Petrovic has kind of come into his own. I think he's probably the better goalkeeper. But so there was talk that Maresca wanted to bring in some sort of ball-playing goalkeeper, like an Edison-style player. Shock. But then all the other reports coming out after that from Fabrizio and the rest of them are that he really likes Robert Sanchez and thinks he can develop him into some playmaker, sweeper keeper thing. So I thought that was going to be the first port of call, but I don't really know if that's going to happen anymore.
Yeah, that was mine, by the way. Goalkeeper.
What?
And I have a feeling that Jordan Pickford is going to be on the market. And I think that would be a shout for Chelsea. I know he's not the most likeable, but we are going to speak about England in a minute, and I think he would be a great addition for Chelsea.
I can't think of anyone I'd rather have in net less than Jordan Pickford at Stamford.
I don't get
honestly,
but he is good.
Get this. He's a fantastic goalkeeper. Like, he really is.
Right. Okay.
He is good. He is good. It's just unlikable.
Right.
Oh yeah, he's horrifically unlikable. Yeah.
I don't mind an unlikable.
So Chelsea. Chelsea are the most unlikable team. Like, it's perfect.
Give me a horrible shithouse any day of the week. I love them. I want every Rudiger, every Diego Costa, everyone that you can get me. I want 11 of those. That's not fine by me. But not because if you want to start playing this sexy possession-based football, I'd never known Jordan Pickford to be one for a little Cruyff term when a centre forward's closing. He's not that kind of goalkeeper, is he? I think for that style of play, he ain't an Edison. He's more of the shot stopper.
He's tried it. You can find a few clips of him trying them. Exactly. He don't do them.
I think he does okay with it in England, because he's asked to do it for England, and I think he does okay. I can't think of many mistakes doing it for England.
You're mostly playing against gimps, though, aren't you? At international level, you're mostly playing against mongs for the most part.
Well, we'll get onto that, but yeah. He does have a lot more time with England. You're right. I don't know. It's a shout, and I think Everton are going to be very much in the selling market for the next couple of weeks.
They're going to have to sell a lot of players, aren't they, I think, this year?
We will cover that at some point. There's a lot going on with Everton. But it's England week. We've got 2 friendlies. As we're recording this Monday night, there's one tonight and Friday night. Tonight we're playing Bosnia. We've got a few people out. I think Kyle Walker's out. Stones, Maguire, and Saka, and I can't think of anyone else. But that might be it.
Bellingham.
Obviously Bellingham, yeah.
Foden. Anyone who's played in either of the cup finals isn't playing, basically.
Speaking of, but Grealish is in the squad.
He didn't play, did he?
Right, fair enough. Speaking of which, I know it's sort of transitions from before, but we've got a Champions League winner in the England squad. And it's good that we've got like the best player in Germany, best player in England, and the best player in Spain, all in the England squad this year.
Got a couple of Champions League winners in there now.
Not this year. The most recent Champions League winner.
Oh, as in like
yeah.
The reigning champions. Yeah, fair.
Yeah, very nice. So let's talk about England then for a minute. First of all, starting lineups out as we're recording this, so I guess we can go through that. And there's some good players who I think it's worth looking at. I'm usually quite excited to see Trent in midfield, just to see what we can get out of him in that role. He looks like he's going to be playing deeper. He's next to Gallagher, who likes to get all over the pitch, and Eze is starting, and Ollie Watkins, who I like the fact that he's going to be given a chance. I mean, what are your thoughts after, first of all, seeing the lineup and then the squad in general overall? I know we've got the. Did we take 30 and we need to get it? Oh, we've got 32. I can't remember what the
I think it's 33 down to 26, isn't it?
Right, that's right. Yeah.
I remember fearing it's 7 miss out, or is it 6? 7, I think. Fixing Football podcast on top of its numbers.
7 miss out.
Fix that self. Let's. Liam. Anyone? I mean, what are you most looking forward to in these two friendlies before the final 26 is announced?
Traditionally, these aren't the most exciting friendlies. The ones just before tournaments. So looking forward to is probably pushing it. But in terms of what I'm obviously going to be watching the game as soon as we wrap this up. But I suppose there's a couple of key things I'm going to be looking at. Gay centre back, is he going to be the starting centre back alongside Stones? I think he might be, personally.
I think he will. I don't know. I think they're sweating on Maguire, to be honest, whether he's going to make the first game.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be quite interesting. I agree, Alexander-Arnold, because I think Alexander-Arnold may well start. He may well be the third midfielder that they go for, to be honest, as a defensive midfield, particularly in games that they're expecting to control the ball not as a defensive midfielder, but as more of a deep line playmaker type. I think he's going to do that to allow Rice to push on a little bit and try and dictate the game. That's what I would do personally against teams that we're expected to not have the ball with. In ones that I think we're going to be a bit more under pressure, I would then bring Gallagher in and maybe play Rice defensive and have Gallagher marauding around, because I'm going to play Ford on the left personally. But that's maybe how I would do it. But that's going to be quite interesting. I suppose the other thing I'm maybe looking at is maybe how Watkins gets on. But it's just about who's going to be coming on for Kane, really. And I think it would be Watkins anyway now. I think Watkins is free and clear of Tony in my estimations now. So I don't really think there's a lot to learn here that we don't already know. I think it's one more thing before you answer. I think it's quite telling that Grealish hasn't started. If I'm Grealish, I'm very worried at that. Because this is a real chance for him. I think he's in real danger of not going.
What about Maddison as well? I think he's in the same boat as Grealish.
Potentially. I think there's no place in Maddison with the way Bellingham and Foden can play in that position. I like Maddison, but I don't think there's any point taking him when you've got those two. If you're going to play a 10, he's third best in that role.
And Palmer as well, who could play that easily. Exactly.
So there's just no point. I'd rather take Wharton, to be completely honest, because
I would.
He's a classic centre defensive midfielder. What we're missing is just whether you do it, whether you push, you essentially accelerate his development from playing in front of 10 people at Blackburn less than a year ago in playing in a major tournament. So yeah, that's the key decision.
I mean, Scott, what are your thoughts on that and the squad then?
Yeah, I agree almost completely with everything that Liam just said. I've got my own thoughts on Trent, which I'll get to shortly. One thing that does surprise me is Pickford starting, because these are the most. But is ever a time to just chuck one of the other keepers in to see how they do? This is kind of one of the times, isn't it? I just find it surprised that 3 other goalkeepers it could give a world to, because you're going to be trying to whittle that down to 3 anyway, aren't you? So Trafford, Henderson, or Ramsdale is going to miss out. I couldn't remember. That's how fucking out of it Aaron Ramsdale's been. I couldn't remember his name. So yeah, I'm surprised he's gone with Pickford, because why? I don't know, seems like a bit of a waste of time. But overall, you can see he's gone with. It looks like he's gone Concert at right back and Trippier at left back, or perhaps the other way around.
Yeah.
Hard to tell.
No,
No,
Trippier will play left back, and I think he'll start there in the World Cup.
Yeah, I do.
Euros.
I completely agree.
So
Here's a quick one, Scott. Just obviously, you mentioned quite a good one on the goalkeepers there. It's an under-21 squad at the moment as well.
There isn't. No, I haven't seen an under-21s.
No,
there was under-17s a couple of weeks ago.
I was just wondering, Trafford being there, like, if Trafford's there, is he in then? I think that's what I'm sat here thinking, like, would you bother? Because he's not had a break. Well, he's had a lot of break, actually, because he's barely played for Burnley the last few months. But I wonder whether he's ahead of either Ramsdale or Henderson in the thinking.
For me, I would... Yeah, I hate that Southgate, and he rarely goes with one of the backup goalkeepers just to give him game time, which annoys me, because Henderson less so, but especially Ramsdale, if he considers Ramsdale his second choice, give him a game leading in, or Trafford. If he considers Trafford the second or third choice, give him some game time. I
think Ramsdale needs to worry about getting games at his club rather than getting games at his national team, to be honest. I don't think it's on Southgate to give Ramsdale minutes.
Whoever it is. I'm saying Henderson's playing, so he's not begging for game time. But if there's a chance that Ramsdale or Trafford, who've both lacked game time, especially the second half of the season, there's a chance that they might be called upon, and it might be worth giving them some frigging minutes, whether he gives them half a game or he's promised one of them, a couple of them halves in the next game or something. I don't know.
Pope never got fit, did he? Pope never got back. Like, we're all expecting Pope to be back for this, aren't we? He's not. I've just thought about this now. He's not been anywhere near, has he?
And Newcastle have been linked with goalkeepers left, right, and centre as well. So I think
interesting. I think Pope's class me. I find that a bit odd, but whatever. Yeah, I think you're right on Trafford. If Trafford's in the squad, he benefits more from being the third unused keeper than any of the others do. So I guess that I would agree with that. I don't like this Trent midfield. I think we're shoehorning people in based on name and reputation. I think we're putting Trent in as a team that doesn't need him to be there. It's in the games that he will be useful, we will win anyway. We don't need his deep lying playmaker skills to unlock the teams that we could trust him in. Because in games that actually mean something, you can't trust him because he's a defensive liability. He's terrible.
I do agree with that.
And that means that Jude Bellingham's going to play a 10, which is the wrong place to put him. I don't care. He plays that. I don't care where he plays for Madrid. It's the wrong position. And he was terrible in the Champions League final as well.
He won La Liga Player of the Year in that position.
Don't care. It's not the right place for him. That's how shit La Liga is. You can play him out of position and he's still... Well, Vinicius is going to win the Ballon d'Or. How does that work out? That don't make any sense, does it?
I mean, it does a bit.
Not really. It makes no sense at all. They play in the same team in the same league.
Well, is he going to win the Ballon d'Or? Because if England win the Euros and Bellingham's the main man,
if we win the Euros, yeah, you're right. He's probably.
But then if Brazil win the Copper and Vinicius is the main man,
Vinicius has 3 goals for Brazil. It's true, that, isn't it? I only found that out today. It's not very good.
Really?
Tell him.
Yeah, I will.
That'll be why.
I told Jude first. I told Jude and his fake tears on the halfway line the other night.
Got real beef with Bellingham, you.
I do. I really do. That's a story for another time. We won't get into my Bellingham hate. I'll save that for when he wins us the Euros, and then
park it for when we crash out of the Euros.
Yeah, and it's his fault, and he misses the key penalty. But anyway, I'll digress. Yeah, I don't like this Trent thing in the middle because I think, like I said, I'd rather put Wharton there and to actually test someone who could be useful in a big game, which Trent will not be. I like Eze getting some time. I think he's fucking brilliant. But then I think we've got a lot of players who can do what he can do. So, yeah, he's in that Madison camp of do we need him really with Palmer, with Foden and Gordon and the rest of it? So yeah, I think Jared Bowen's a weird one. Him getting some time. I thought he'd be well on the chopping block for one of the 7 that miss out, but
Yeah.
starting, so he clearly wants to see something from him. But
Well,
yeah,
I think that this is it. He's one who's sort of having a late audition here. But
yeah, I agree.
last
It's a
couple
very
of
good
months-
season, and he can play up front as well, can't he? As like that
Yeah,
counter-attack type forward. He gives you something a bit different, I think.
he's got a
He's
lot
a
of
very
goals this year, hasn't
yeah, on the break. A lot of them are on the break, taking chances first time across the goalkeeper. It is something that maybe we've not had since Vardy for England, I don't think. That type of forward. So he may be tempted by just the difference that he offers. Maybe more so than Tony, actually.
he? Yeah.
That
So-
because then you've got a couple positions covered with that.
This leads me on to the last point, and we'll wrap it up here. But so there's 6 places. Am I right? 6 or 7 places to be cut. We need to get to 26. I'm sure it's 33 to 26. Oh no, yeah, you're right. 7.
33. 'Cause he's
Are you,
usually
are you, are you,
23,
are you
so-
using a calculator to get 33 minus 26?
I was looking at the squad, and then I was trying to work out who was missing and do quick maths in my head whilst talking. But 33 to 26. So there's 7 going to miss out. Who does miss out? Who does make the cut? I'm going to say there's going to be 1 definite goalkeeper miss out because we've got 4.
Right, who do we think goalkeeper then, dead quick?
I think Henderson miss out only because I think Southgate likes Ramsdale more. Not saying either one deserves it more than the other. That's just my opinion. I just think Ramsdale's.
I think you are saying that, but that's fine. I actually agree. I think it will be Henderson that misses out.
And
yeah, I do deep down agree. I just don't like Ramsdale. I like hating on him.
I think Southgate's been very open about how much we're sweating on Luke Shaw and Maguire. And I think Maguire may be the closest one to missing out completely. So that'll develop as the weeks go on.
How are we sweating on Harry Maguire, by the way?
I don't know.
We've fallen so far as a nation. That's why.
Is anyone else other than Gareth Southgate sweating on Harry Maguire?
Yeah, that's true. When I say sweating, I mean there is a
The
side
problem
thought
is
that
he's the one in charge of our fucking destiny, and he's sweating over a player who we clearly don't need or want anywhere near the squad. Baffling. I don't get it.
so, listen, but in fact, as it goes, that if he's fit, he's going to be in the squad. So
Okay,
if he isn't fit, then
So-
that makes the decision on maybe a Joe Branthwaite or Jarrell Quansah sticking
it'll be
around.
them two.
Yeah.
It's almost certainly going to be them two that miss out.
Because I think Quansah covering at right back is handy, and who's the other one?
You've got Joe Gomez for that.
Joe
And you've got
Gomez
Alexander
is the one.
Arnold. And Trippier is actually a right back.
That's true. So Quansah,
So
is,
I think Gomez can play
sorry.
left back. I think Gomez
Yeah.
definitely stays around. So Quansah, Branthwaite, and
Does Branthwaite play any other
Quansah.
position? Is he a
Branthwaite's a
fullback
left-
as well as
he's left-footed though, which is really handy to have around. And I think Branthwaite does stick around. I think it'll be Quansah or Quansah. Who?
I'm sorry, but if we send Ezri Konsa home, he's been the best English left back in
No,
the league
I-
by a mile this year.
I'm pretty-
this season, I mean, he has.
I'm pretty sure it'd be Branthwaite and Quansah that miss out.
Really?
But I probably would take Branthwaite, but I think it'll be them two that miss out. I think he'll take Konza, yeah. It'll be between Konza and Branthwaite, I think. And I think he'll go Konza.
So that's 3 we've cut. Then we're looking at midfielders in the midfield area. I'd like to see Curtis Jones at some point tonight. I'm hoping that we see him at least in for half of one of the games.
Well, he'll be cut, so we can put him in. I mean,
But
he
yeah,
will
I
be.
think-
He's going to be in it.
I do really rate him. Yeah,
Yeah,
think-
we all like Curtis Jones. The podcast likes Curtis Jones, but he's getting cut.
Yeah, we do.
Adam Wharton as well, probably getting cut.
Nope. I
Kevin
think he
Mainoo.
goes me. Nope. Goals as
We
well.
just cut one midfielder. Because who else?
Well,
Gallagher might get cut.
and then we're looking
I don't think he will. I don't think he's the greatest player, Gallagher, but I think he offers the engine that nobody else in that midfield is offering.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you're
think
probably right.
Gallagher is far closer to the starting 11 than he is the chopping block at this point.
Yeah. I agree.
And then forwards then.
We're looking at Grealish, Maddison,
Got a lot of
Tony,
forwards to get rid of, to be fair.
Jared Bowen, are probably the 4 who are most at risk.
I think it's a toss-up between Tony and Bowen. Now that I think about it, I would be on the fence if I was because I'm like,
it's probably 2 of them though. It's probably 2 of them 4 really numbers wise.
Yeah, like if you're in a toss-up between Jared Bowen and Tony, which it might come down to in that position, you're a bit like, I don't know.
Bowen around just to take a penalty in a shootout.
I hate that argument. I think it's dog
shit.
shit.
Palmer for that now. Cole Palmer to do that.
It's a very different thing as well, taking a penalty against Fulham at home in the Premier League than it is in like World Cup semi-finals. Yeah. It's just if you start planning for that, you're being silly for me.
Coming on in the 119th minute to take a penalty against France is not the way.
Like, your whole body would just not work, would it? Like,
yeah.
I'm not even more sure of anything that Kane was going to miss that penalty. Not because like he bottled it. I just thought, how could you take that penalty? Like 82nd minute in the like World Cup quarter final. Like think
his job.
But you think your legs would feel like lead, wouldn't they?
He's the England captain. No.
Oh well, then he doesn't get nervous anymore. Well,
he's the guy that we're supposed to rely on to do this exact thing. The exact thing that you just said he can't do. Why is he there then? He's the England fucking striker.
No, I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm saying it's very hard to do. I don't blame Harry Kane for missing that penalty.
Greatest striker in the world, apparently.
Well, you two.
I blame him.
No, if there was someone who I wanted to take a penalty, I would put all the marbles on Harry Kane. And I'm not saying it's not a pressure penalty. I'm just thinking if there's someone you want taking one, it's probably him. And
well,
let the whole nation
we've got cold Palmer for next time, haven't we?
Cold Palmer, indeed.
Someone else who won't get the game.
Yeah.
Still start Palmer.
How many? Not if he's doing this Bellingham 10 thing, which is bullshit. But if Bellingham's at the 10, you've got Saka and Foden. That's how he's going to do it. Palmer, for some reason, Palmer won't start, which is baffling. But he won't.
I think Palmer can start.
Because he's got hard on for Jude. How
Jude.
many players?
Palmer's better than Saka. Palmer's just a better player than Saka, I think.
Yeah, I'm almost certain that you do think that. It's wrong. I mean, it's proper incorrect, but that's just one silly man's opinion. It's fine.
It takes. I think if Palmer has another year like he's had, I think there's a strong argument for that. As a better footballer to watch, like Saka's a good athlete, but as an overall technical player, I think Palmer would be better.
Saka's a good athlete.
Yeah,
Jesus,
like Mo Salah. Like Salah's just a good athlete, isn't he?
Salah's got about 400 goals in the last 5 seasons. Listen,
if I could run as fast as he could, I could fucking score 400 goals as well.
Saka's been playing first team Premier League football for 5 years, and Palmer's only just shown up at the door at the same age, so Palmer's got a lot to go at. But
don't you worry about that.
We got into a silly argument here because Palmer is fantastic as well, and if Southgate does go with him, who cares? Our attackers aren't our worry here. Whoever he takes is going to be unbelievable. Like amongst the best players in the world.
How many players do we have left to cut? We only had 3 or 2.
No, I think we got to 7 then, with 1 goalkeeper, potentially 2 defenders, 1 midfielder, and 2 forwards.
We got to cut 7, haven't we?
That was 5. So I've got 2 left.
Grealish
Jones
has to be cut for me.
Jones, Grealish.
Wharton then. Wharton will have to get cut.
I think Wharton will get cut, unfortunately, as much as we probably all rate him. I just think his inexperience will be, and that's not his fault. That's just it's a timing thing. Him coming onto the scene, onto the main stage in January, to be on the brink of a Euro squad is a massive achievement in itself. So,
do you think the fact that we've got Ramsdale, Rice, Saka all in the same squad, do you think there's like concerns that the team might have like a loser mentality? Do you think that will hold us back in the Euros?
That captain's that covered.
Captain's form has been doing that for Tottenham for 10 years. So
Captain's the biggest loser on the planet.
No.
It's almost incredible. It's almost incredible how good you can be and always losing it. Like and every individual thing is outstanding yet lose. It is a curse. It must be a curse. Like, it can only be a curse.
There's got to be something. Like, there's got to be something to that now. He's gone to Bayern.
He's
broke
broke
every
records
Bundesliga
in the amount of
record.
goals he's scored at Bayern.
Yeah.
And still not won. Like, Bayer Leverkusen, who've never won the Bundesliga, go and win it unbeaten. It's
year he turns up. The year he turns up as well. It's just quality.
Were they on a streak of what? 10? 9 or 10 Bundesligas in a row? Something stupid.
Yeah.
Might have even been more.
Maybe even more. Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, that's our leader. Everybody, our fearless leader, who we're relying on to take last-minute penalties that apparently we shouldn't expect him to score.
I don't think him, Rice and Saka were worried about loser mentality, Liam.
Okay.
2 of our best players. Isn't an answer. You are correct. Right. We'll wrap that up there. Boys, we're going to have a break for a week. I'm going to go on holiday. I'm going to enjoy some football. There's going to be lots happen, and we'll be able to catch up as a big old family when we rejoin in a couple of weeks' time. We'll have the Euros announcement and kick-off by the time we return, and we'll try and get some more stuff done. We're very active on socials in the meantime, so please get in touch. Please do like and subscribe and follow and share. And more importantly than anything, Liam, we've got the Predictor League kicking off by the time we come back.
Yes, we do. Some interesting calls already in the Predictor League.
Really interesting. And we would love people to be involved, so please get in touch.
The Predictor League is the single best thing ever invented. You should all be in it. It's really good. The rules are really simple to understand, and everyone knows exactly what's going on with it. It's good. Join it. And if you don't, then fair enough, but you'll be bored.
You're missing out. You'll enjoy some fantastic commentary anyway. Just for the record, Liam, who did invent it?
I think it was a collection. I think you were involved. I might have been involved. And I think Luke might have been involved.
I did run it for 2 years before you'd ever heard of it, but that's cool. So Martin Naylor, one of the generation's great inventors, has come up with a fantastic idea, and you're welcome to join. Please do get involved, get in touch. If you would like to get in touch, subscribe and comment and let us know. And we will reach out and get you involved, and we'll get some money involved, and you can hopefully win some prizes. Thank you everyone for checking this episode out. We will see you in a couple of weeks. Find all the information at our website, www.fixingfootballpodcast.com, and we'll catch you at the start of the Euros. See you soon, boys.
Farewell.
In a bit.